Who can relate? You got yourself a new outfit, but none of your accessories really fit to it. Luckily for us, we can make our own accessories. Hey there, and welcome to the Totally Fierce Crochet channel. My name's Thomas, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful chenille yarn houndstooth loop. So, long story short, I designed the sweater a while ago. I actually wanted to have it as a supplement or a new collection called knitture, from like knitting and couture, the mixture of it, but actually scrapped it. And I thought about incorporating the design and the products in my shop, even though, but it won't fit into any of the collections that I already had. So I scrapped it, but still it looks quite fabulous. It's printed all over in this beautiful houndstooth pattern with the three colors, black, white, and red. It's very comfy. I just wore it once. Don't ask me why. But now my issue is that all of the accessories that I have, my scarves, my hats, nothing really fits. But luckily I had some leftover yarn from my hexagon cardigan that I did also last year. I hope this much yarn is enough for a loop around my neck, and of course incorporating the houndstooth pattern in it. So as always, before we start, take a sec, like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my tutorials. Thank you. So the church bells outside are ringing. Let's get started. And of course we start with the yarn. This is the yarn that I'm going to use. It's from France, from a brand called Penguin, one of my favorite brands. It's called Pingo Chenille, and it says you need a crochet hook, a 6mm crochet hook. When you're new to yarn and crochet or knitting, most of the time they indicate it with knitting needles, but it's actually the same for crochet. So besides the yarn, we need a crochet hook, 7mm. Now you can, if you want to, have your finished product to be a bit more loose and a bit more, I don't know, soft. You can always size it up 1 or 2 millimeters and use a bigger crochet hook, but for this video I'm going to stick to the crochet hook with 7mm. Then of course you need a yarn needle to sew in those yarn ends, and last but not least, some scissors. And since this project is filmed live, I didn't make a sample of it. It's always helpful to have, if you do have a loop scarf at home that fits you very well, you can always use it as measurement to see how many stitches you need in the beginning. So I have this one here as well. Okay, let's start. So I'm going to start with the black yarn and then continue with the red and then the white. It's basically a 2-round repeat, and we are going to make the loop, of course, in the round. The houndstooth pattern in the end will look a little bit different than the one on my sweater, but either way it should fit. So we start with the black yarn, and as always I'm trying to get that centerpiece out. This was all the from the front, so I'm going to put it back in there. It's always a bit tricky, and you don't want to have like this whole yarn baby coming out, but I'm afraid this is about to happen. Let's see, maybe I'm lucky. Where is it? No, now it's completely stuck. So here's the yarn baby. It's crazy, I know. But don't worry, just find those beginning yarn, and here it is. So what we're going to do to start off is to make a slip knot first. And the way I do it is that I wrap it around my finger, then take this part here, pull it through and pull it tight, and put that loop on your hook. Now with chenille yarn, you always want to work very softly with it. There's also like on this end pieces, there's like those little things that come off, which is completely normal. Sometimes it can be a real mess, even though it's so pretty and cozy and fun. But always make sure to not put or make this or don't make the stitches too tight, because that in the end will definitely be a bit tricky also to find the next stitches. So we are going to start with a chain, so we yarn over and pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And since I haven't made the loop before, I mean I made loops before, but not this one, I can't even tell you how many stitches or how many how long the chain will be. I will then just check on myself directly to see how much I have to do, and then in the end recheck that I have an even amount of number. Let's see. This is definitely not enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this was 30, 31, 32, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 50. It's already quite long, but I think it won't be enough. So basically I would need this to go along all the way. So let's make 30 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. and 80. Now we have 80. Let's see. It's a bit bigger. Maybe I take off like 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or even 5. Let's make it 5. Try it again. Still a bit big. Take off a few more. Yes, that shall do. It's a little bit more than on the other side, but since this is chenille, it's going to be like a bit more chunky and bulky in the end. So it should be fine like this. Now I don't really know how many stitches I have, and I'm lazy counting them again. So I'm just going to put everything together in the round, and then we see whether we like whether it's okay or not. I know those of you who are used to count and need a specific number will most probably be like, oh my god, what is he doing? But to be honest, this is going to be so chunky and soft, you wouldn't even see when there's like one stitch missing or not. So what I'm going to do is to just make sure that it's not flipped in a way. So what I'm going to do is to work in those back loops. They're right here. And I'm going to make a slip knot first to close it like this, and then we're going into the next back loop. I'm not even sure if I have a back loop or not, so maybe we skip that with the back loop. Now maybe something to tell you, a lot of people love to have like black scarves and things like that. And what they don't really know is that it's so hard to work with black yarn. It's not even funny, trust me. So for the sake of this, I'm going to just connect them where I can see the loops a bit better. So we make a slip knot into that first stitch, and then we simply continue from there. Even here it's very hard to see. Woohoo. This is going to be funny. Now what we do is that we chain 1, and then we are going to alternate single crochets with double crochets. So this first chain 1 here already serves as my first single crochet. So I'm going to start with a double crochet. So you yarn over, get in those loops, yarn over, pull through. You now have 3 loops on your hook, and then yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through the other 2. Then we continue with a single crochet. So you put the hook in the loop, grab the yarn, pull it through, yarn over and pull through 2. Then again a double crochet, then a single crochet in the next, and this is how we are going to continue throughout this first round. Then again a double crochet, yarn over, grab the yarn, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Then the next single crochet, then again a double crochet, then the next single crochet, then the double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single, double. And this is what we do all the way through. The first round is always so fiddly and you have nothing to hold on to. Oops. And in addition, the chenille yarn is so soft it glides through your fingers. So it's really tricky. And then again, the black yarn, which is always such a mess. So I'm going to fast forward this video. So if you want to press pause, and then I meet you before this first round is finished, and then we will find out if we had enough stitches or not in the beginning. But I'm telling you, it doesn't really matter. So see you again soon. Okay, so I made it through almost once, and I do have a little bit of space here left, so I can put 2 more stitches in. And we started everything here with that chain 1, which will serve as the first single crochet. And so we want to end this first round with a double crochet. So here's where I stopped with a double crochet. So I'm going to make a single crochet in here, and then a double crochet into that last space. This is actually the most crucial one. I'm going to take it from the back because you don't want to have your work twisted. And here we go. Now maybe you can see that there are those little bumps in there. Those are the double crochets. Looks fine to me, to be honest. And here's what I meant when you have it somehow twisted. I think I twisted it while showing you how it looks. So you always have to make sure that in the end everything points towards the same direction. This was the beginning loop. So this is now how the end should look like. So what we are going to do is to slip knot into that first chain, and we do this that when you still have both loops on your hook, we are going to then incorporate and change the next into the next color, the red, like this. So we can tighten it up a little bit. So usually here should be like the first double crochet, and we are going to just make one into that same space. This is how you have like your first stitch ready, and then here as the second stitch from the previous round we had a double crochet, so we are going to make a single crochet in it, this, then again a double crochet into the previous single crochet, then the next single crochet. So we are just alternating again, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, and I'm going to fast forward the video, so press pause, and I'll meet you back right before the end of round number 2. So I made it all the way through, and here there's a single crochet left. So when we start with a double crochet like this one here, we have to end with a single crochet, which is where I am. And here you have like this little loop again to close it, and then we switch to the black yarn again. So we're going to have like black all the way through, then red all the way through, then again black, then we start with the white, and this is how we continue throughout. So let's grab the black yarn, pull the red one tight, and pull the black yarn through like this. So in the round before, here we started with a double crochet, so we are going to start now with a single crochet, and like this it's also easier for you to get like what color, or when you have the black round, you always start with a single crochet. When you have the red or the white round, you always start with a double crochet. So here we started with a single crochet and then continue with the double crochet. And now by this round you are going to see the houndstooth effect a bit better. And now it's also a bit easier with the black yarn. So it always needs a few more rounds until you see the effect in full. My black yarn baby is still killing me, as all babies usually do. So please excuse when I stop, but we are going to continue like this all the way through, still alternating single crochets and double crochets, and meet you in the end before we switch to the white. And after that you basically work as long as you want to until you reach the height of your loop that you desire. So I'll meet you right before we switch to white. See you. Welcome back, and I'm almost through with this second black round. And again, we are closing into that last stitch. Now the last one always doesn't really look like a houndstooth. It has like this little bump in there. I still haven't figured out how to avoid that. But to be honest, everything else looks so cool. Hope you can see it. And like this, also the houndstooth pattern really comes to life. And now we are ready for the white. We are going to start now with the white. Pull it through. And again, since we started the black round with a single crochet, we are now making a double crochet in the beginning. So basically you do the same thing with the white yarn like we did with the red yarn, and then a single crochet and a double crochet, and single crochet, double crochet. Now it gets a bit easier to find the spaces. So in the end, the white and the red almost touch each other. And the more rounds you make, the more you will see the houndstooth pattern. Here you can see it pretty well. So you always create those little fields of color, and sometimes they overlap a little bit like here. And this is basically what makes it so pretty. And I'm going to fast forward again. And finish the white round before starting our third black round. And then I think you know how it goes, because afterwards we are going to just grab the red yarn and grab the black yarn. So we always leave the yarn, we never cut it. So in the end you only have to sew in those very last ends. And then you're good to go. And I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I'm almost at the end. I have one single crochet left. And then again, I'm going to close the round in here. And then I simply grab my black yarn from here and pull it through. And I'm good to go with the next round. And here you can see the houndstooth pattern coming alive so beautifully in the chenille yarn. So pretty. Again, this back side here is like not a real, almost, it's not that wrong, but that's all right. And now you know how you do it. So basically we continue like we started in all the black rounds with a single crochet, and then in the next one a double crochet all the way through. And I will leave you to it until you reach the height of your loop that you want to, or until the yarn is over, which will most probably be in my case because I don't have that much yarn left. But anyway, I will see you once it's done. See you. Welcome back. It's a new day, a new morning, and this is what I did over the course of last evening. Doesn't it look so pretty? Oh my goodness. And with the chenille yarn, it's so soft, so tender. I mean, it's just, I can't stop looking at it, and I can't wait to wear it. So basically this now is the length that I'm going to go with. Put it like this so you see everything. You can always make it longer or shorter, just how you like it. And I mean, for those who want to know exactly how many rounds I did, let's just count them. So we started here with the first round of double crochets and single crochets. So I'm going to count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. And what I took care of is that the way we start with the black and the red, we are also going to end. So the red and then the black. And to finish it off, I'm going to just slip stitch around this last black round, because as you can see here, the beginning was also a little bit bigger and it had this first chain. So when we make a round of slip knots all the way through, then we're good to go, and then we can sew in those ends. And again, this part here is where we like change the color. I know it looks a bit weird, but to be honest, later on when you have like the scarf or the loop around your neck, you probably wouldn't even recognize it. And like this, you always know where the end of your work is going to be. So for me, it's totally fine. And for those of you who would like to see the inside, on the inside, I mean, the pattern itself looks pretty even from the other side, but here where we like then took then always the next color, you see those strands of yarn, basically from the white and the red, which is normal when you do it like this. And since this is the inside, I don't mind them at all. If you don't want to have those strands of yarn on the inside, you would always have to cut the yarn once you change the color. But that way you would have to like sew in all those ends. And maybe you know me a little bit by now. I don't like sewing at all. So I avoid the sewing as much as I can. Okay, since we are done with the red and the white, I'm going to cut them off. So we don't need them anymore. And it makes it easier for the last round. So as I said before, we just make a slip knot throughout this last round, and then we're good to go. Okay, so to make a slip knot, you just put the hook into the stitch, pull the yarn through, and then pull the yarn through the loop on your hook. And then we go to the next one. And here on top. This also helps to flatten out the border a little bit, and it also gives like a little bit of more tension towards the neck piece or the neck part of the loop. So it's always a good idea to finish it off in some sort of a way. And to be honest, it doesn't matter if you go through both of the loops of the previous stitch or just one. It doesn't really matter. It won't show in the end. And therefore you don't have to be that extra careful. And you can just simply make those slip knots. And finish everything off. And this was it. As you can see, like that, you get a prettier edge. And I'm just going to go in there and then cut the black yarn off, pull it through. And we're good to go. Perfect. So now I'm going to turn it. Here you see again those strands. And the good thing is that all the parts that we have to sew in are in that, basically in that same part of the work. And now we are going to sew that in. So take your yarn needle and sew in those ends. Now with chenille yarn, you always want to make sure that you really sewed them in, because the yarn is quite a bit slippery, and you don't want to, or you want to avoid that pieces are coming out, so I always go one way and then the same way back, trying to get a few stitches like this, and then go back, and then just push it a little and cut it. Then the next one, the white. Probably should have cut it a bit more or less, so that I would have like a longer piece of yarn to sew them in, but that's all right. The yarn itself also holds quite well, and when it's too short like this, you can always then go in with your yarn needle and stop right here, pull the yarn in and pull it through, and like that you get like a little bit of hold. Now this one was the black one from the very last round. We're going to put it in all the way here. And then sew it in. Now don't worry if you find those little pieces here and there. Whenever you cut chenille yarn, there's like this little bits and pieces, which is normal. I don't know if it would help to like burn the ends, and I wouldn't suggest to do that, because otherwise it might like put everything on fire. And we sure don't want to do that after all this work. So this one side is done. Then we can go to the next one. I'm sorry, now the video cut off. I just sewed in that last piece of black yarn, and now we are ready to turn the work and have fun with our beautiful houndstooth loop. So let's try it on. Here we go. So you can put it like this, you can put it underneath. It works. You can even have it like this. Some of you ladies out there probably would like it like this to keep the head and the ears warm. And I'm really happy with it. It's not too big. You can always crumble it up here a little bit. And it works with the sweater. Perfect. Now this is fashion, or how Tyra Banks would call it, fashion. Fashion. Looking good and feeling fine. Looking good and feeling fine. Looking good and feeling fine. Slay. And what's even better? You can make your dog a matching loop as well. Hmm? So keep on watching. There's a little bonus extra for you coming. I will show you how to make this matching dog loop for the big human loop. Holly's giving me all those faces back again. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Sorry for all the mistakes I have been doing and I will do in the next video. But this is how it is. Nothing is perfect. Big hugs from us and see you soon. Only at the Totally Fierce Crochet channel. Welcome back, and here's our little bonus for all the dog moms and dog dads. We are going to make a houndstooth loop for your pup or for your cat. And since this is going to be a bit smaller, then it should be very fast to make. So let's get to it. And I got myself a collar from Holly that I'm going to use as like a measurement for what size I want to have. Of course, if you're asking, it's from Frenchie Bulldog, of course. And I'm just going to use this as measurement. And I'm going to start with the black yarn again. So we make the slip knot in the beginning. And then we chain an even number of stitches. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20. This should not be enough. 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this is 30, almost. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Let's see. Now this shall do, and especially with the flexibility of it, this should work. So I made 36 stitches in total, and now we are going to join them again without flipping, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter. I just join them and flip it afterwards. That's fine. So we make a slip knot in that first chain, and then we start again with a chain 1 and then a single crochet. Then we make the double crochet, then in the next stitch. Now here we go again with the tricky first round, a slip stitch, then in the next it's completely twisted, But this happens when it's live. Double. Maybe I can untwist it on the go. Single crochet, then the next double crochet. Where's the stitch? Here it is. Single crochet, then do I have it? I don't know. I don't really know. Double crochet, then single crochet. Now I'm back. Double crochet. No, this was wrong. Here it's just a very big stitch. Single crochet. Double crochet. Single crochet. Double. Single. Double. Double. Single. Once you have survived this first round, it's all going to be so much easier. But then again, there's no crochet when you don't have a first round, right? There has to be a start somewhere. Oh, this looks a bit weird. But oh well. Our dogs won't mind. Now I went all the way from the outside to the inside. It's a bit wobbly, but oh well. Single, double, single, double, jeez, how did it get that twisted? So we went like, I don't know how many times up and down, but it is how it is. In the end, I think it doesn't really show. This was almost the last one, I think, because here it was like where we joined it, and then this here was the chain one, and basically we are going in here now. Or don't we? So this is this. This should be a single crochet. Let's see how that goes. Single crochet, and then in this space here, because here's another one, interestingly, we make a double crochet in it, and then we might join right here with our next color, probably. Oh geez, it's all twisted. Oh yeah. You know what, guys? I think I'm doing it all over again, because this is very, very messy. So this was a single. This should be a double here. Just basically where we joined. And let's see, here should be then the next color. We give it a try. It's all in the right direction now. So sorry again if this was very confusing, but it's so hard to see actually. So here we are. Here should be another, here we start with the double crochet. So again, when it's a colorful round, we start with a double crochet and then a single crochet in the next one, and then again a double crochet, and then a single. Stupid yarn always tangled up. And then a double, single, double, and single. Oops, double is what it should be. So now I'm actually happy that I didn't like put everything, or took everything back to the start and do it again, because now it's so much easier to work. And from there it will be easy peasy. But again, I'm really sorry if this was a bit messy, and I can totally understand you if you want to go back and do it over again. But the good thing about the chenille yarn is that it's very forgiving. So it's so fluffy that even though sometimes you miss a stitch or don't have the right amount of loops on your hook, it's very forgiving. Also, like when you have like those bigger holes like this, I mean, in the end, it's going to be like a loop. And if you're not happy with the border on one side, you can always crochet over it. But as I said, since this is like for the dog, personally, I think it can have those imperfections. So this was basically our last, and I'm trying to find a way how to make a nicer transition from the one yarn to the other. So here's where we are. So probably if I go in and make the slip knot with, where's my red yarn? Here it is. With this color already, maybe it works, because then we can put that first single crochet in here, and then, no, it's still not it. I'm always trying to find a way, but maybe let's, since this is like really that chaos piece right now, I'm going to see what we can actually do. So maybe I just close it, maybe that's better, and then take my black yarn and do it like this. So maybe then we can go in here to make our first. It's not that bad. We'll see how that goes, if I remember that. Or if I can remember how I did that. So we'll see. But now let's just focus on that round. And as you can see, it goes so much faster once you've done it, and then you immediately know where to place the singles and where you place the double crochets. And before you even know it, you do see those houndstooth elements starting to pop up. And as long as you see those, all the mistakes are forgiving. I'm going to switch to white with you, and then I'm going to fast forward because everything else is then basically the same. So you can make the loop as long as you wish. You can always also put it on your pup to see how it looks like. Oh no. The transition from one yarn to the other yarn still looks bad. I had high hopes, but I have no idea. Maybe I have to browse YouTube. But most of the time when people show this pattern, they don't show it in the round, they show it like in a flat or in a rectangle. And with that, it's always a bit different. So where do I go from here now? Because this space here is a bit weird. I mean, here we had the double crochet. Normally we stopped the round with a double crochet. So maybe I just go in here, close it, and then get the white. Where is it? Here it is. I have no idea. And then normally there should be a double crochet with the next color right here, and then single, double, and so on. Can you hear the bells? The church bells. It's noon. Time for lunch. Not for me, my lunch is crochet. The yarn is killing me. Usually I'm very patient, but whenever I feel like the tension of a tangled yarn, it always makes me a little bit nervous. And it takes a lot from my speed. Sorry, I was out of camera. Too much talking. This was the last, the single crochet. Then we go in and take our black yarn. I'm going to put the collar away. I have more space. Now it's time to untangle a little bit. So those are leftovers. Here's the black one here we go. And then we are going right in there. No, that was wrong. We're going right in. And then single and double. Checking again. That shall do. So I leave you to it. Make it as long as you want to. Check with the neck of your dog what the perfect size will be, and I'll meet you back to finish it off, sew the ends in, and then we're good to go. See you in a bit. Okay, so 45 minutes later, this is how it looks like. I will keep it in that length. It should be fine for Holly. I'm going to cut the white and the red yarn. It was tangled up anyway, of course. And now I'm just going to do as we did before, make a round of slip knots all the way through, just to have the border around it. And then it's just about sewing in those ends. I even had to open another skein of the black yarn because the rest that I had wasn't enough, unfortunately. So there are 2 more strands of yarn to sew in, but that doesn't matter. And we're almost there. Now this kind of a format, like a dog loop, is really like a very fast and very easy project to do. And you can basically do whatever pattern you like. You can change the colors. You can just have fun with it. So where are we? We are here. So this was the end loop. I'm going to make one last one in here, and then I can cut the yarn, pull it through, like lots of bits and pieces here and there. The black yarn is done, and now we flip it over and work on those ends. So we do it the same way, of course, like we did it before, and just incorporate the yarn end in those loops. One way first and then back again. And here we go. The dark loop is done. And just like that, you have a loop for humans and a loop for dogs with the same pattern in the same size. So cute.